Today we talk a little bit about AMG stamps of Germany, Allied Military Government. Here are the three different issues: the American issue, the British issue, and the German issue, or sometimes referred to as the Brunswick type issue. Yes, as I just indicated, we do have these three printings, American, English, and German, of this particular Allied Military Government series. Allied Military Government, or for short AMG stamps of 1945/1946 of Germany. It is an interesting collecting area with much to look for, especially with an accurate and detailed reference, because the potential for various little and not so little treasures are possible. Very important. Beware of fake cancels. Better values mint or used should typically be expertized. Again, there are three printings. The American or Washington printing, which totals 9 different values. The English printing or London printing has 6 values, and the German or Brunswick printing has 20 values. Here's the American printing in a complete set of all the different values, with the 25 being the high value, 25 Pfennig in German currency. Then we have the English printing. Unfortunately, I was short the 3 Pfennig, which is obviously missing. So here we have the 12 Pfennig as the top value, or the highest face value, I should say, of this series. And then finally we have the German printing. This is a full set, one of each, from the 1 Pfennig all the way to the 1 mark. And as you can see, as the values change, like higher than 25 Pfennig, the size of the stamp also has changed. And when you get to the high value, the 1 mark, it's even slightly larger yet. I'm sure you're all familiar with that anyways. So how do we tell them apart? Well, let's start with the American printing. All have a perforation 11, no variations, and minor design differences. I will explain a little bit later. Then we have the English printing. All have perforation 14 1/4 to 14 3/4 in 7 different combinations, as well as gum differences. And finally, we have the German printing. All are perved 11 to 11 1/2 in 4 combinations. Some colors and design and size differences also do exist. So here we have the American printing, the stamps and the enlargements. And when you look at the little design in the upper right and the lower right here, by the G and by the P, it's basically a blank spot right here. When you go to the German printing, however, there are tiny designs in the same spots as there are blanks in the American printing. So that is a definite a difference between the American printing and the German printing. So whenever you see this little design, it's always of the German printing. And this basically holds true up to the 25 pfennig value. After that, since the American printing does not go beyond that, everything else belongs to, that's higher than the 25, belongs to the German printing. Yes, okay, I just described the lack of the minor little design in the American and the present design in the German version. And here we have the larger format from the 25 pfennig to 30. It is larger. And again, for the final value, 1 mark, it is even larger yet. And some of these have also very minor design differences, but unmistakably they are of the Brunswick or German printing. The 3 printings have definite differences. So what are we really looking for? Well, here are some, but not all, of the predominant categories which do vary by the 3 different printings. The American printing. We look for paper differences, plate numbers, plate flaws, small attached gutters. Yes, they are important and they do carry value, and some other features. But these are the most predominant and oftentimes listed in a good catalog. Then we go to the English printing. There too we have paper differences, in fact 3 types. We have gum differences, also 3 types, and we have perforation differences. Here we have 7 different combinations of perforations. Then we have plate numbers and plate flaws and so on. And then we have the German printing. Perforation differences of 4 types, plate flaws, very many, color differences, margin sheet numbers. Typically, they are found in the top horizontal row on the right margin of the sheet. Then we have proofs and quite a bit more. Again, a detailed catalog will go into some of all of these differences and more. Next, a few variety examples. American printing. On the left, we have a thick paper variety. This one here. Yes, of course, I cannot truly show it in picture, but you can believe me, it is the thick paper variety, and it does have the absolute minimum catalog value. The right stamp is of the thin paper, and when you have the 2 together, yes, it's very obvious and easily you can tell them apart. And this particular stamp of the American printing catalogs a cool $35. All stamps are mint not hinged in this case. Then we have the English printing. On the left, again, the perforation is of the minimum catalog value, and the right stamp of the English printing shows a perforation 14.5 by 14.25. Yes, we have to be very accurate here, and sometimes it's not that easy because we're dealing with very small perforations. And here, the catalog value is a good $40 worth. So not bad. Lookalikes, but different, and much better catalog value on the right stamp. And the German printing. A few more better varieties are shown here. Left to right, we have the 25 Pfennig at catalog value $25, the 60 Pfennig, $11, the 80, which is good in all perforation varieties, catalogs a minimum of $45, and so does the 80 Pfennig on the right. They're both in different perforations, but they happen to be the two lowest catalog value of the four possibilities. So anyways, yeah, I explained here. I actually wrote down dollars, but it's actually euros. And that's why I added the plus behind the value, because the euro is a little higher than the dollar at this point. Yeah, and here we have something very interesting, and it proves the point. Checking the perforation, it does make, or can make, quite a difference. Here we have in the German printing the 42 Pfennig at perforation 11.5. When I only say 11.5, that means 11.5 top, top, right side, bottom, and left side. And that one catalogs also not bad, $25 plus. However, the 12 Pfennig of the German printing, don't know if you can see the little design, no mistake about it. It is the Brunswick Printing, and it perforates at 11.5 at the top. Always the first number is the top, and the second number are the sides, 11. 11.5 by 11. This one, yes, in mint not hinged condition, catalogs $150. So that is quite a large amount for such a plain and common looking stamp. But it is the perforation, in fact, that makes this stamp that valuable. In use condition, a whole lot more. That is legitimately used. Okay. By just checking the very basics, little treasures can be found, as seen in these few examples. But as mentioned before, there are other details to look for, possibly more good surprises. Again, I repeat myself, an accurate and detailed catalog could be of definite benefit. That is, if you're trying to specialize in this particular area. For the general collector, maybe there is no interest. I don't know. But I find checking stamps all the way into detail makes this hobby quite fascinating, especially when you do get a little lucky and find that little treasure. Well, I hope you liked a little bit of my video, and hopefully click on my subscribe button. I certainly will be very happy about that. And thank you so very much for watching. Yes, treasures are waiting to be found. Wishing all of you success and hope soon you will find your little treasure. My channel, stamps, space, MyFunThings.